Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Clara, the co founder of Live Perfectly, but today I bring a very special guest. So I want to make sure we are all super excited because it's been a long time since I haven't gone live together with Amanda. So please join us with Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Welcome, Amanda.
Hello, hello. So it's always so much fun when we do these together. I mean, you do great, on your own, but I love doing these with you and for the community and I'm so happy to be here for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that this one is special to us, amazing viewers. First of all, my apologies. Somehow there was a mix on the time, so I just fixed the time for this live. So that's the reason that maybe some people are like, it was supposed to be an hour later. So our apologies. We fixed that. Okay, every Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want to thank you, especially you viewers, all right, because this journey that we've done with Amanda could have never been done without you, all right. And I want to make sure you understand this. There is nothing we're selling you here, okay? This is just two resellers, all right, that out of desperation, we built a solution just for ourselves. So this is what we want to share with you. So this is for you sellers, non-sellers. This is for you family that supported us and that maybe you have a relative that sells online. And this is all for you friends, okay? So we with Amanda, can you explain, Amanda, the your vision and mission that you have about how everybody should be selling online? Let's start from there.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean everybody that wants to. Let's qualify that. Everybody that wants to sell online should be selling online because you know, it's it's just a great way to get started, get a little business started. And most people have things that they don't need anymore at home, and they can just generate a little extra income. And I think especially during these times that we're in with, uncertainty in supply chain and tariffs and everything else going on, it's a great time to be able to doing recycling economy and
Right.
getting those items that may be collecting dust on your shelf into someone else's hands.
Right. Absolutely. No, no, makes sense. And that's the philosophy. Just to you, Amanda is there would be no list perfectly with Amanda. All right. I just want to make that clear. She is so determined. She is so, I cannot even explain you the level of determination, commitment, all of the above, because there I can comfortably say there would be no Liz Perfectly without Amanda. And but again, what propelled Liz Perfectly was meeting each other socially, and then finding, demystifying that reselling online, not it wasn't just for people that barely making or pinching pennies. It was a very legit business, and I was so happy when Amanda asked me to do shipping for her so she could go to Rhode Island. She's from Rhode Island, and at that time we were in Long Beach, California, and I did shipping for her, fed her kitties, okay. And then from there I started to answer questions, and then from there I started to build listings. And Amanda always enjoyed sourcing. So Amanda, you let's talk about a little about your background, because one of the things that caught my attention was your amazing background pre let's say the clothing vault. So to all of you, you can go and research the clothing vault. That's our reselling business that we have with Amanda. But Mandy, can you tell us what you did a little before, because you resold all kind of, guys, buckle up, okay? Mandy, tell us please.
I mean, how back do you want me to go? Do you want me to get in the Wayback Machine or right before I started
No, I
selling
love the
online?
restaurant. The restaurant, okay. You
Okay.
guys gotta understand that Amanda has she is an introvert, okay, loves people, but at the core, she's an introvert. But your restaurant story is my favorite.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I love food. I love to cook and I love to eat it. I really, really so back when I was younger, and I was a lot younger, and we're all trying to find our path. I thought that maybe because I like cooking so much,
Right,
I would want to start a food business. And now, granted, not to, date myself, but back when I wanted to do this, there were no food trucks. Like it wasn't a thing back then. And
right,
when I wanted to start a restaurant, it was really, really hard. It wasn't even a restaurant. All I wanted to do was set up at a farmer's market or
right,
have like a little push cart just to start out. And it was so hard back then.
right,
So, after going through that and realizing, okay, I did not know what I was getting into with this. I think that I just need to pay my bills right now.
right,
And so what ended up happening is I had to sell off all of this stuff and just say, come back to reality and it's time to pay bills. And I
right,
realized that I was pretty good at buying things at a discount and then flipping them. I discovered that through eBay.
right.
I actually sold all my equipment for like, 30% or 50% more than I bought
More.
it for,
Wow.
which was crazy back then. And so, I discovered eBay and I was hooked at that moment. I was hooked. I was like, I have to do more of this. This is
You were
incredible.
such a pioneer when you were doing that. Very few, and the misconception, me coming from banking, that no, you guys didn't make any money, and guys, every time I would see Amanda socially, I would be like, oh no, 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 let me pay, thinking that hey, here I am making more money, and then she shows me. We all know the story that I'm gonna just say it one more time, okay? She's smiling. I did a barbecue, of course, Argentinian does a barbecue. She comes with her laptop, and back in the day, 23 years ago, there was no smartphones. So she's smiling big because she sold a Ralph Lauren vest. Oh, beautiful. A downhill skier, vintage 90s with a hole in the chest. I was like, what? Amanda, um, I don't mean to be rude, Amanda, but you shouldn't be doing that. Eventually you're gonna be caught, and that's not a sustainable way to grow a business. And Amanda is like, no, 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 no. I have displayed everything. I disclose everything. Said and done. 2 weeks later, this person fixed the vest and sent us a picture showing that they renewed their vows after 10 years later because he lost that vest. So this is for me a moment where I said, I went from 2008 leaving, okay, banking behind, and joining reselling with Amanda. And obviously my family was like, you're gonna be selling dirty clothing, what? And here is Amanda with her incredible background. So one of the things that called my attention early was your knowledge, because Amanda is a Marine Sergeant Morse. Yes, and yes, and believe me, she's a sergeant, okay? So yes. So, Mandy, your knowledge in militaria, that was just, we were doing that when nobody, those peacoats, those Navy peacoats that we were selling for like $2,000, guys. I will never forget what the field jackets. That was incredible, Amanda, and you really enjoyed that,
Oh yeah, I did. It's it was fascinating to me. I think anybody can find their niche, what they really like to sell, what they're really interested in. And when you're interested in that, you want to put the time in and learn about it because
right?
it'll help you not only when you go to sell it, it'll help you buy right. So you know what you're buying and you're not going to make a mistake, and knowledge is power, right? So
Right.
I know even today with all the AI and everything, we can't know everything at every point in time. We can't know everything like right that second about the history of it. What war it was in, like what, all of these little details that come out when you really do the deep research and you figure it out. And so what we found, I think Clara, what we found at that time was we found our niche not only because we loved it, but because there was an opportunity as well. Because as I was researching, I was seeing, yes, people are selling these things, but they don't know anything about them. So they're not highlighting the
Right.
uniqueness of these items. And
Right.
so this comes back to, what, if you want to ask me what really set Clara and I apart,
Mhm.
it's the level of detail and the care and attention that we would put into every single listing, both at the time of buying it and at the time of selling it.
Right. And at the time of shipping too.
Yep. Mhm.
Remember, we were like literally, using, bags, cute bags. We started to use very interesting, very professional ways to present our business. And one of the things that I think that the thing that people ask me the most, Amanda, okay, is how did you go from, hey, I'm a historian, I'm gonna be an eBay seller, I'm not gonna do restaurant. I'm not gonna do photos anymore because she lived in downtown LA. So how did you go from like, okay, I don't like listing. I did a lot of spreadsheets. We all know that the first versions of the Mandy Lister was a lot of templates and spreadsheets. But how did you go from I'm gonna teach myself coding because this was her proposal, guys. Imagine this could never. This is why we don't have investors. If you would have told me, if you would tell any investor, all right, she tells me, Amanda, give me 2 years of your hard effort and I'll teach myself coding. This means pay 2 mortgages, you have to pay 2 car payments, everything was double. And I'll never forget that I did it because I was so her passion and determination. If you don't know Amanda in person, Amanda is very determined. She, no wonder, okay, you're a sergeant, okay, for the Marines, all right? It shows, okay, certainly, that training that you have in that trait that you have in your personality. But Mandy, how did you go to keep it simple? How in the heck did you think, hey, I can teach myself coding over people? And you knew people that went to Ivy Leagues and they are coders. You know those people. How did you do to look? I can do this. They can do it too.
I think it comes back to the curiosity element. It's what made I think both you and I very, very good sellers. We were always curious, right? And so when you're curious, it just opens up a lot of other possibilities like, huh, I don't like listing. That was my reality back then. I don't like listing as much as I enjoy the end result. I really don't like the process of going through and creating this listing. How can I make this easier for both Clara and myself? And so that was, like a little bit of curiosity and a little bit of I have this problem that I want to solve and I'm desperate. And at the time, we were both Clara and I were like, someone has to have solved this problem, but no
Oh,
one
it was,
did. I mean, we were
well,
even
they did,
willing.
but it was like $3,000 a
No,
month.
even then, they weren't
Yeah.
doing what we needed. So the
Yeah.
problem back
Yeah.
then was no one was focused on resellers. Nobody. Everybody was focused on the Amazon or the Walmart seller, like the seller that they buy 50,000 widgets from a big supplier and they put that online. And so they were always focused on how do you manage all these orders because you have 50,000 of them and the orders are flowing in. You're not listing. You don't have a listing problem. You have an order problem. Well, we have a listing problem because we're selling one of a kind items.
Yep.
And that was Clara and I. That was our business model. We didn't sell multi quantity. We sold one of a kind. And so that's really what started List Perfectly is the realization that nobody was worrying about the one of a kind seller.
Right, 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 right.
Mhm.
And I want to show the audience a little what we're talking about. Let me see how. Okay, there we are. So this is what we're talking about. This is our business. This is our website. We also started on eBay. But I just want to show you. Look at the Pharrell Williams jacket that we have here. All right, just to keep it simple. All right, this is the kind of curiosity, and this was sold what 15 years ago. So we did put a lot of time on our listings to see which famous person was wearing what. For example, this jacket that you see here, the Mats Larsen, this is the jacket, the same jacket that Bruce Willis used for 12 Monkeys. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. All right. So this is the kind of one of a kind items that we were selling with Amanda. And as you can see, let's go back. Let's see. This is the Militaria. Look at this jacket. Look at this flight jacket. This is Amanda, guys. This is all Amanda, her passion. Wow, we did good together, Mandy. I miss reselling with you. We
We had a good time.
master reselling.
We did. We had a good time. We really did.
Wow. And then this is what saved us in the summer, guys. Remember, we were having problems. So what we did, we started to sell teas, concert teas, and you can see here we can filter, sort by price, high to low. And that this is, Mandy has to fix a website. Somehow
Yeah,
it dropped.
it needs
Yeah, it
love.
dropped. Oh my God, we have beautiful. Look at the shot jackets. Look at these authentic shearling. There's the field jackets, the 50 deep pockets. Oh my goodness, incredible the stuff that we sold. So this is the stuff that we sold, one of a kind. Look at this. This is a $500 coat. It's not perfect, but as long as you disclose the flaws, people don't mind. Just make sure. Look what we would do. One of our secrets that I looked at, Amanda taught me, is to put red tape where the flaw was. So then people couldn't say, right, that there was a flaw. All right. So for example, in this case, this loop was stretched out. Thank you, Mandy, for those practices. You taught me all the good practices. How did you do to learn all those practices back in the day when there was nothing?
Oh my goodness. I mean, just trial and error, really. It was trial and error. And it's funny. I didn't tell you this, but I logged into one of our old dusted off one of our old accounts recently, and I saw a message from someone that said that they saw our items online, and they know that it's been years since we've been selling, but they were hoping that maybe we're selling somewhere else, but they really like the quality of our listings. And
Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's nice to get that feedback, and we would get that feedback all the time. But
yep,
that was one of the reasons that we were able to get
right.
higher prices. And if you were to look at our items back then, if you were to look at
Oh,
Terapeak, what was Terapeak back then,
yep.
we were in our category, we were always at the top
Yes,
for those
always,
items, always.
always. So we did prove a point, guys. Ugly website. This is my ugly website. Literally, look. This was an image that this is a fake wooden floor. Okay, I asked my neighbor because I don't play baseball. I asked my neighbor for a baseball bat and the glove, and then I put the clothing ball hat, some Dodger stuff. Okay, took the picture. Mandy did the website, but look at this ugly website. It couldn't be more basic. Nothing. And these links directly, instead of stealing traffic from eBay and Etsy, we would send it. Why? Because you look legit. So people can see that you're a legit seller. All you have to do is put cheaper prices on your website. Done. End of a story. So people started to come. I did also a lot of my where Mandy's forte is to build all these, the website, everything built herself. Okay, we did make sure that our listings, like she said, was high quality. And these were the vintage t-shirts that we were talking about. For example, look, the Jacksons. All right, a vintage 80s t-shirt for 180 that I bought for what, $2. I would buy this in bulk and get them for $1 or $2 each. It was just insane what we were doing. White Snake 125. And again, I can filter these. Let's see if the filter works. But Mandy, this was really good. I still remember the thrill of finding this.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, back then we built our own multi-channel management software, and that was the second evolution after the templates, the multiple spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next one was our own multi-channel software. So we were
Right.
connected to four channels. We had eBay, Etsy, our website, and then we added in Poshmark. And when we added in Poshmark, we were like, okay, that's it. Now we know we have to bring this to other people, because before, back then, you
Right.
were isolated. You
Yep.
had to pick, basically you picked a marketplace and you stuck with it. And if you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go to other marketplaces, you had to copy and paste. It was like copy paste back and forth. And so yeah.
So Tommy has a question. Yeah, that is so true. But Tommy has a question, Mandy. Do you ever miss selling, hunting for the Holy Grail?
Yeah, yeah. I think that shopping is always everyone's favorite, right? I mean, how many times have we gone to a place and you just see something hanging on the rack and no one else sees it but you do, and it is a thrill. It's pretty exciting. I'll never forget when you found the Rocky sweatshirt. I would have recognized that. I
Oh, I'll show the Rocky sweatshirt. I couldn't believe you did, Ricky. I'm like, even me, I'm like, okay, that's obvious. Okay.
Nope, I didn't recognize it, but then, you found it, and then you told me, and I was like, "Really? Now?" And then you found the picture. So you put the picture in the listing,
Yep. And
and there it
again, so
is.
Tommy was asking me, how did you do this back in the day? So it was literally, I was the master on Google. I from day one when Google launched, okay, you could put characters on Google back in the day to tweak it to do what you needed and in the search. So definitely it was for me, was really easy because I have a very good memory also. I like movies, I like Americana. So how could I not forget this sweatshirt? And I couldn't believe we found it on dead stock condition, guys. Check this out. So and again, we bought these for what, $3, I think I paid. So it's a story that gave the foundation of Liz perfectly, guys. Bootstrap, we're still okay building Liz perfectly with our own money. Amanda is still on top of every single aspect of our technology. In what is most important, I think, Mandy, I would like to see, you know, um, we were, we were doing things, everything ourselves, right? And then, we created what I call the Mandy Lister. After Mandy Lister, all right, on 2016, we decided to launch List Clothing, all right? At that time, we were just focused on clothing. This was literally from necessity and no ambition. How do you remember this, Amanda? Tell me your story. What do you recall?
Um, so,
That,
just about how List Perfectly came about, how we
yeah, at
yeah.
that moment, I mean, at that moment, that we go into List Clothing and we realize that we're creating this out of necessity and not just to make money. Obviously we want to make money to pay the bills, but what do you recall? How did it feel for you?
I think back then we were both very aware of the reseller journey, and how often back then resellers were misunderstood. You touched on it earlier on when you introduced this topic, where you know your parents are worried, they think you're selling dirty clothing, and we're not alone. A lot of people think that. And so I always felt like any edge that we can give people in this industry is a win, because they can focus more on making money. And a lot of these people with these fears, when they see you making money, well, that shuts down all fears, all doubts, all questions about, is this a legitimate industry? I mean, as soon as you show people the money, you're good. So, and part of that means part of that means saving time, so you can focus on the money making tasks, not the money saving. And I think that's also something that Clara and I were very aware of, is that resellers, we often see falling into two camps. They're focused on money making,
Right.
or they're focused on money saving.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to knock either perspective. It's your perspective, and whatever makes your business work for you, that's great. Sometimes it means money savings. Sometimes it means, entirely focusing on the money. But I think that at the end of the day, what I always realized is technology is a big factor in success. And, we're going to look at the tools that the big businesses use. Imagine if big businesses didn't have any tools at their disposal. They didn't have technology. They wouldn't be where they are. They would
No.
not be able to run their companies. Like, technology is a vital piece of
Yes.
selling online. So, I think that I always recognize that. I think you always recognize that. And we were just determined to do what we could to bring more technology to an industry that had been basically neglected for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that is very important to mention was our rebranding, and that was gutsy, I have to say. Leaving List Clothing, our niche, okay, where we were comfortable and getting out of our comfort zone and rebranding to List Perfectly. We created that logo that you see on the chest of Amanda. That's our logo, all right? So we created this, even we took very serious of creating our logo. For me, it was exciting to rebrand because I really wanted to cater to all categories. One of the things was, I'll never forget, on List Clothing, we have like literally a counted customers, all right? But it was incredible to see how people would, from going back in the day, eBay was, there wasn't many marketplaces. So there was eBay, or maybe Poshmark and websites and Etsy. That's it. And I remember that from listing from eBay, people would do the Mandy lister and then try List Clothing, and it was just epic to see how easy it was for them. And that was for me something I'll never forget, when our customer, our only customer at that time.
Back then. This is a
Oh yeah.
while ago.
Yes, I'll never forget. And then I have a cute story that we never said. Okay, so we have this. So actually, our customer, what we're doing was a trade. Okay, he was literally giving me these Levi's that we could resell for $8,000. Okay, we're talking about back a belt buckle, on the back. We're talking about like really, really expensive stuff. Okay, and then we would let him use this clothing. And then I remember we stopped because we changed to List Perfectly and we didn't need the clothing anymore. And then I'm like, okay, Amanda, time to move on. We need to, just shut down, the software for this. And Amanda is like, I didn't build that.
Yeah. Yeah. We start well, it is funny when you look at our journey and all of the things that we tried, and we didn't have investors, we only had ourselves and our customers
Yeah,
telling us what they needed
yeah,
and what they were looking for. And so, yeah, it was a pretty interesting journey. And I'll never forget, even when I felt like we really had something with List Perfectly at first.
yeah.
Bringing it to people, it was
Ooh.
challenging because a lot of people were like, "Oh, but I just copy and paste." And
No, I don't need it. I can cut and paste.
and so we would do side by side trials and say, okay, well, let's take your method and our method and let's see what's faster. And when they saw it in action, and then when they saw the difference in the image quality and,
Oh,
and everything else, that that it ticked home. But I mean, it's amazing that even when you build something and you think you have it right, it takes going the extra mile to really, share with people one on one sometimes how good it can be. I think we still go through that today.
yeah,
We have a lot of
absolutely.
features that people probably don't even know about and
Exactly.
would save them a ton of time.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I just want to show. Look, this is our Facebook page. All right, let me see. Um, Yeah, here we are. So, and it's interesting. Look at the date, March 2nd, 2020 at 8:05 a.m. And I'm demoing List Perfectly Mobile. And I'm still, look, we're switching images. We're listing from a List Perfectly Mobile. We're so happy to show that we have a mobile version of List Perfectly. This was our beginnings. This is it. This is us enjoying List Perfectly. This is the time that I remember we have to take down sometimes the server in order to successfully continue powering through. This is Patrick, Teresa, and Amanda working, how to fix List Perfectly. This is it. This is the four of us with 4,000 customers. That was just insane, Amanda.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was. So, yeah, it's been quite a journey. And yeah, I mean, it's really been a thrill to meet all of you as well, and really touch and get to know the community. And gosh, since we started, obviously reselling has changed a lot, but fundamentally, it really hasn't. If at the end of the day, you're trying to get eyeballs on your item and you're
Yeah.
trying to share with them that you're a reputable seller, you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to share with them that your item is legitimate
Right.
and that they're going to be happy with their purchase if they buy from you. And so, what do you do to make that happen? Well, those things haven't really changed. It's pretty much
Right.
the same.
Right, right. And again, we always focus on quality listings, and that was something really, really important for us to deliver with quality. Okay, the best service that we can do. Hey, everybody! Thank you for joining. I want to show something. Okay, I want to share something that Amanda likes. I'm gonna show there is a timeline, guys, okay, on the List Perfectly website under our company. So you can see, all right, how List Perfectly. I'm gonna go real quick to the beginning here. Okay, we can even go to 2003. All right, we can say reseller beginnings, okay, together. In 2011, all right, we co-founded the Clothing Vault, all right. In 2015, we integrated Etsy, WooCommerce to eBay to the Mandy lister. All right. So List Clothing is launched on January 2016. All right. Then we built the integration with Poshmark, and now we rebrand to 2019. And we launched List Perfectly with eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, and Mercari. I'll never forget that. Okay. The reality is that Mercari was working. It actually was three solid marketplaces, and Mercari being a little funny sometimes. And that's when we attend in July 2019. And everybody knows that we went viral right after that. Amanda, we didn't have enough money. Amanda attends eBay Open, and I stay on the front door, passing the List Perfectly flyers with my Clothing Vault t-shirt. So I just want to let you know that all you need to succeed, all right? All you need to succeed, reselling will give you all the skills you need in order to be successful anywhere, right, Mandy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you're touching on so many things when you're a reseller. You're becoming your own business owner. You have to look at profit versus loss. What are your costs? What do you need to do? How much money do you need to make to pay your
Right.
bills every month? And what are your goals? And how what niche are you going to be successful in? I mean, you're touching on so many skills, customer service, there's so many things that go into being a reseller, and I really think that we're among the most scrappy people out
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. There is sometimes people think that success is just a random thing, or something that maybe happens just out of luck. What would you say about our success, Amanda?
Hard work, persistence and hard work. I mean, it really was about hard work. It was about consistency. And that's kind of what I mean by persistence.
Yeah.
is even when you don't feel like listing, you get up and do it because
One.
you need to meet your quota every day. Every single day we had listings go up, no
Yep.
matter what.
Yep.
And you know, it was just a lot of discipline, and but also a lot of fun. We made it a lot of fun. Our
Oh my.
shopping trips were a good time.
Oh, wow. We had fun. We even deliver items and we shop worldwide. It was a lot of fun. We made it fun. We made it everything a tax write off. We breathe and live reselling so we could write it off. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Brian. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Tommy says sometimes success is just putting food on the table. Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever means success to you, because I'm a foodie person. Okay. So yes, for me, I'll be honest, you know what? I'll go deeper, Tommy. In I was just talking that with my therapist, coming from extreme poverty, having anemia 5 times, eating, bread and water for 2 years. It was brutal, guys. I was so hungry. So I couldn't agree more, Tommy. Sometimes success is just putting food on the table. And I cannot even tell you guys, I don't care about you with Amanda, I don't care about much material, but if I go and visit Amanda to Rhode Island and her family cooks me something and everything, I'm the happiest woman in the freaking world. So I'm just saying, hey, Lex, there you are. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us, Lex. Sorry that we have a little mix up with the time, but Mandy, what would you say to those resellers that want to be kind of not like us, but they want to resell and also start another business in that they want to do something technical? What advice would you tell them without saying that they're going to do coding? Maybe they're going to do installing hardware, maybe they're going to do software, maybe they're going to do something like anything that I don't do. In other words, Mandy, what advice would you tell them?
Well, I would just say, you know, always make sure that if you you know, if it really depends on your situation, because a lot of people are, you know, you want to make sure that as you go into whatever you're going to go into, you really dive deep and you give it the attention it deserves. But you also don't want to abandon your, you know, what your money maker, your present money maker. I mean, if you
There
have,
you go.
you know, you have to you have to juggle. You have to be good at juggling, and you have to be willing to sacrifice for a little. You know, very few of us are trust fund babies, and you know, or have someone to fall back on if things don't work out. So, you know, you want to make sure that what you're doing is your passion. What you want to do is your passion. I discovered I discovered from the food that I didn't know it wasn't my passion until I started doing it. And
Right.
you know, look, if you get into something and you realize I love it, dive in. But if you realize like early on, it's not really for me, then find something else,
That is
because
so.
it's a lot of work. I mean, really, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice. But if you love what you're doing and you feel a passion about it, then that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, can you see us? Are we good? All right. I think the signal was breaking up a little, but no, just making sure you're there. You're there. But absolutely, I think that passion for me. How did you do? One thing that I'm curious. I don't think I asked you this before, Amanda, but how in the heck did you do when I had to pay your bills? And literally we were selling anything we had on the house at that point, your house, my house. We were literally pinching pennies. Guys, we were going like literally 5 minutes before bank closing, and we would be pinching counting the coins, guys,
Yeah.
okay, to pay.
Well, this
How
is what it means.
did
This
you
is what
yourself
it means.
coding?
This is
How
what it
did
means to have a
you?
great business partner, though. I mean, Clara, you were and
uh,
you were my biggest fan. We always say that.
yeah, yeah,
You're my
yeah.
biggest fan,
Yeah. Well,
and
you too.
you
You're my biggest fan too. So
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I and so at the end of the day, I was like, I can't make this fail because oh my gosh, I'm gonna let everybody down. I'm gonna let Clara down if I can't make this
Oh,
happen for us. And I mean that was a driver for me right there. Like I couldn't let you down. And
yeah.
I so appreciated you taking on the burden solely of the clothing
Oh,
boxes.
me, and I
You were
couldn't let
alone.
you. If I didn't pay one of your bills over my dead body, you're gonna have a bad credit. Okay, you know me. I'm like, having a good credit for me is everything. Especially as an immigrant, we only have the floor, okay, to pick us up because there is no uncle, daddy, mommy, and if we have it, they're making Argentinian pesos. Okay, so believe me, you don't want to be earning Argentinian pesos. So for me was not the 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 pressure that I had was and on top of that your family that was helping. Oh my god, guys, her family was helping us so much. And how do I tell her that I skip a payment and I messed up her credit? No, 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 I couldn't even imagine. That was not even an option for me. I'll never forget that. But I think that yes, you're right. A good partnership. And like I said, our partnership, guys, we never sit down with Mandy and said, hey, want to make millions? Yes, let's make millions. No, it was more like, yeah, I like money. I like living good. I like buying nice things and I like traveling a lot. Okay. But for us was more about let's build a tool for us that at that time, guys, imagine year 2015 and 200,000 was just my income from eBay. I'll never forget. Then I made like 150 with the website, and then I had like 100 with Etsy. And then we started to funnel, and that was Instagram because we had also, guys, one of the things that we did very good early on. And thank you, Mandy. Early on, Mandy started to build the first ever integration to Instagram. And this is the nice thing about this integration, guys, that we did with Amanda is that this is not an Instagram business profile. Business profiles, oh my goodness, to get visibility is hard. So what Amanda built me, look at this, 35 likes, okay? And this is from September 2019. There is the date, guys, okay? But look at the quality of the listing. Look how I'm telling, look at people asking me questions and all that stuff. So just want to give you an idea how powerful. And we're still, if you ask me, that's a secret. This is how we're running list perfectly. I'm still running list perfectly like a reseller. I don't want to pay for advertising. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pay for a sales team. Not interested because I have an amazing product. I have amazing community. So for us, I think that was another success. That was you, Amanda. Me was the one preventing you from going to investors, but you were the one with the referral program. I think, and that's a reason today we're debt free. The company, we own 100% of the company. The company is debt free. We are debt free. How I know that you always wanted this, and you were so determined. Did you think we would keep going like this without investors in
No.
the
No, to be honest with you, back then I thought it was impossible. I thought that and full disclosure, guys, like we didn't back then we didn't say we're not getting investors. We actually wanted investors, but
Mhm.
everyone turned us away.
Yep.
And not much has changed. I mean,
Nope.
if a couple of guys go in
Yep.
and they're young, they'll get money, and women really have to prove themselves. And so we definitely got turned away, but at that time we didn't push that hard either because I think we both
Yeah.
said we can do this. No matter
As
what,
a
we'll
woman,
do
we
it.
gotta push harder.
Yeah.
One of the things, okay, I'm gonna talk about a disappointment, Mandy. One of the things that hurt me really bad, guys, okay, and this was like, oh, not again. You gotta understand, I'm a lawyer, then I've been in banking, now I'm technology. All of the industries that are, with due respect, male dominated, all right? They're male dominated. And I'll never forget. okay, we applied what we call an incubator, all right? And we applied for this incubator. They declined us. And the next year they accept, okay, a competing service, all right, and then they included another service. So literally it's like we had the idea, we applied year after year, they could decline us. And again, it was just frustrating to see other companies, they just apply because we don't have we don't know, they won't tell us, but definitely it's all about connections. So for me, what was mind-blowing, Mandy, is I never thought we would be 6 years, all right, um privately owned, all right. And one of the big changes we did, guys, is back in the day with Amanda, we wanted to be a big corporation. We have changed that, and we want to be more like a smaller corporation, family oriented. And that for me was a change that really, really skyrocketed, least perfectly again to the direction we wanted. Yes, Tommy, an incubator. All right. What is it called? Why incubator, Mandy? Or what is it called?
Well, what in technology, what an incubator is they're basically a group of not investors, but very well connected advisors. They'll give you a little bit of money, so they actually give you money, and but they own a percentage of
And
your company at
resources.
the end, and they help you with getting you connected. They give you classes and training, and you're connected into the network. So that's what that means by an incubator. We're not raising chickens.
Hi, Mandy, you cracked me up. Okay, yeah, Tommy, at the heart of it, though, you two have a rock solid friendship. Okay, I cannot even tell you, this woman cracks me up, guys. Even when we have a disagreement, oh my God, she cracks me up. I cannot understand why, how can we be so different but get along? We don't even have to try, because the things she likes are the things I don't like. And the things I don't like are the things she likes. So it just works. We don't even have to try. So that's a kind of partnership, guys, I suggest you to have, where you don't even have to try. If you are questioning if that person is honest on your partnership or in your team, that's time to eliminate maybe that partnership. Okay, you shouldn't even. I have never questioned Amanda's loyalty, transparency. We have such a level of trust that we didn't even keep a ledger. We just put whatever money I had. Every year the banks will send me a severance check, because they made me work so much. And I remember just giving her the checks and just put it, keep training, Amanda, keep training. So for me is, for those of you out there, find someone that really believes in you like Amanda, but not in the good times when you have the money and everything. No, when you are sick, like I was with osteoarthritis, when you are sad because you can't run marathons anymore, and the doctor tells you that now, from now on, you can get the permanent disability and you can walk or swim. And there she was to keep me motivated, to help me dream again, and then challenging herself to teach, to code, in order to keep the I think that one of the things we cherished was, from early on, was our partnership. From my side, from your side, how was it, Mandy?
Oh, it was a wonderful thing to have someone to do the reselling journey with, because I was alone for a few years. I was selling on my own for, gosh, I think like 6 years, 7 years,
Mm.
and I didn't have a reselling partner. Um, I mean, at the same time, it's really nice knowing that, like Clara said, when you're not feeling good, there's someone there to back you up. Hey, I'm dealing with this customer and I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what else to say. Can you step in? Like, it's incredible to have that. Or, let me go shopping, and meanwhile you list, and then we're always keeping that flow. And I think that's the hard thing is some people are very good, when working on their own and very dedicated, and they get
Yeah.
their stuff done every single day. That's
So
amazing. But, it some days you really need each other to push each other along, and it's nice to have that.
absolutely. Um, do you think that was your fuel when you built Listing Party?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. When we decided that we wanted to build Listing Party, it was 100% because we know a lot of people are out there listing alone, running their reselling business alone. And it's obviously like there's so much going into it. It's a lot more than just listing. It's great. We have listing assistant now. It'll create your listings with AI, but there's so much more to reselling, and sometimes it's good to talk to people, to be part of a community. Mastermind is there to help people to get ahead, and someone just there to list with sometimes in the 24-hour room. So
Right.
always learning, always staying on top of the trends, what's going on with shipping. I mean, even shipping has changed a lot since
Oh
we were
my.
resellers. My goodness, it's
Oh
like,
my. And oh, with Poshmark right now, what's going on with yes. That is so true. And that's the thing in Listing Party. People are, and that's one of the things, they just put it and they don't feel lonely, and they're shipping, they're listing, they're doing stuff like that. And including us after this session, we're come soon to wrap it up, guys. But I want you to join us in Listing Party. You're not with List Perfectly. Don't worry. Every plan of List Perfectly will bring you Listing Party. Why joining Listing Party? Because it's not like here a monologue, if you please, and you asking us questions on a chat. There, literally, it's like being with Amanda right now. We're camera to camera, and you can literally chat directly with us. No other company, okay, will let you talk to co-founder as freely as we do, because we're fully transparent, we're customer centric, and we're always driven to see what are you going to be needing next year. That's what makes us. What will you need next year to be, so we start building it now, like we did with our train as AI that thinks like a true reseller. And thank you everybody for your information. We've been building an amazing AI that is custom tailored to our community needs. Tawana, thank you, my love. Tawana says the 24/7 room is family. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Tawana. Love you. Yeah, Tommy says it's family. That's right, Tommy. That's right. And oh, Beck, love you, my love. Love, love, love. But Mandy, before we close this, I want to ask you a question. What's going on with you? Look like a reseller. Are you? Wait, wait, wait. Are you still in List Perfectly? Wait, guys, did she quit List Perfectly? Are you reselling now? Okay, everybody, I think that Amanda quit List Perfectly and now is a reseller. Tell us your story of how you quit List Perfectly and became a reseller again.
no, no, still very much with List Perfectly. Still there. Yes, yes, you may be noticing some, stuff
Well,
behind me.
Hmm, it looks a little exuberant, Mandy. What's going
Yeah,
on? You look right now like you have a very good money pile. What's going on?
yeah.
Ooh, Crystal. Crystal says, okay. I was wondering about those totes back there. Oh, Torito, you're welcome. De nada, mi amor.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure we're going to be talking about this at listing party a
Listen
lot
for
more.
it.
I'll just give a little teaser. So yeah, a while ago, I mean, gosh, I think it's been about 2 years ago, I was going to help my mom downsize, and we didn't get a chance to do that for a few reasons, her health, and now my dad's health.
Right.
But now we're getting back into it. And so, yes, we're gonna be helping mom and dad downsize, and so they can live a better life. They don't need all this stuff anymore,
Yeah.
and it's gonna help them. I think it was also getting them to finally say it's time to let it go. I,
Yeah.
I think that's part of it, and I didn't want to rush them or push them. So But we'll talk more about that at listing party.
So there you have it. What's going to happen? Will Clara and Amanda go back to listing? Are we going to show you how we're going to do it? What are we going to do with all those totes? Come and join us on listing party. You're not a list perfectly customer. You have 5 days or 100 listing money back guarantee. Don't use 100 listings. And then you, for 5 days, you can come to listing party and join us. Listing party itself will give you you can even do the $29 plan. All right. So come to listing party, create for 1-2 minutes a profile, and then I'll see you there. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for the Whatnot integration. Thank you for launching the 20 images for Etsy so fast. Thank you again for making faster. You found a way to make LP ultra faster this weekend. And thank you again for working on new marketplaces that are coming soon. Send your marketplace request. Don't say I didn't tell you, okay? Because we're going to add what you want, okay, everybody? So thank you, Mandy. Thank you. Thank you. Miss you. And I can't wait to see you in Rhode Island so we can list together and be the powerhouse that we are, okay? Thank you,
Can't wait.
everybody. We wish you many, many sales. And be sure to join us right now on Listing